You ever see a man snap in first class over a bowl of soup? That's not the part you'd expect to turn an entire company upside down. But let me tell you, that's exactly what happened to me at 30,000 feet over the Atlantic, and it wasn't just about a meal. Not even close. Picture this. I'm Darius Coleman, sitting in seat one, tailored suit, polished shoes, merger documents on my tablet, mind already in Geneva, even though the wheels hadn't left the tarmac. I'm used to a certain standard. You don't claw your way up to CEO without developing a taste for details. So yeah, I pre-ordered my lobster bisque and filet mignon like always. Just another perk that comes with keeping billion-dollar deals running on schedule. But this flight, it had other plans for me. So there I am, settling in. That familiar scent of fresh linen and champagne lingering in the air. Everything perfectly arranged for another uneventful hop across the pond until the attendant shows up with this look that says, "You're about to be disappointed, but it's not my fault." She tells me, all polite but cold, that they're out of my meal. Offers me a sandwich, some tap water, shrugs like she's handing out towels at a gym. Meanwhile, the rest of the cabin, the old guard in their matching suits, all of them white, all of them regulars, they're getting caviar and champagne like royalty. That's when I feel it, that old, tight knot in my chest. And let me tell you, it ain't about the food. You ever just know when something isn't a mistake? Her tone, the way she didn't look me in the eye, how fast she turned her back before I could even say a word, yeah, that wasn't random. I'm the only black man in first class, and sometimes you don't need anyone to spell it out for you. You can feel it, heavy as gravity. I sat there, jaw clenched, staring at a sandwich that tasted like cardboard and a glass of water that was just as bitter, watching the others laugh and toast, as if I'd suddenly become invisible. You know what I mean? Maybe you think I'm overreacting. Maybe you think it's just a missed meal, right? But I've been in too many rooms, too many board meetings where I had to prove myself twice over just to get half the respect. It's the little things that show you where you really stand. 10 years flying with straightest air, never once missed a meal until now. Suddenly my order didn't go through. Just happened to me, but nobody else. Sure, but here's the thing. I don't lose my cool. Never have. The boardroom teaches you that. I sat there and let that anger churn, quiet and focused, because if you show your hand too early, you lose your leverage. While she went about pouring another glass of champagne for the guy in 1B, I picked up my phone and fired off a quick text to Marcus, my right hand back at HQ. Initiate internal audit protocol. Flight 917. Cabin crew ID needed. Confirm when ready. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need a scene. But I sure as hell wasn't letting it slide. Let me back up a sec because this is where the twist comes in. Most folks on that plane, even the crew, had no idea who I was. Just another well-dressed passenger, right? But Marcus, he knows me better than anyone. The guy's a bloodhound for paperwork, and within minutes, he's knee-deep in employee files, cross-referencing complaint histories, digging up everything the straightest staff ever tried to sweep under the rug. And what do you know, that attendant, the one who iced me out, had a whole stack of prior complaints for unprofessional behavior and preferential service. Nothing ever came of it, of course. That's how it goes. Until today. So now I'm sitting there, counting down the miles to Geneva, watching everyone act like nothing's wrong, but in the background, I'm turning the gears of something a whole lot bigger than a missed meal. There's this older attendant, let's call him Mr. Wallace, who comes over, nervous, like he's just realized the temperature in the room changed. I look him right in the eye, voice steady, and I ask, "Can you explain how my pre-ordered meal disappeared? Or why your colleague mentioned prioritizing certain guests?" He hesitates, mouth opening and closing like a fish, no answer coming out. I let him squirm, then just nod, calm as ever. "I understand," I say, and I mean it. I understand exactly what game is being played. Now, here's where the story flips. As the flight starts its descent, I can feel the shift not just in me, but in the whole cabin. That feeling of being overlooked, dismissed, it turns to something cold and sharp. When we hit the ground in Geneva, there's a pair of straightest officials waiting at the jet bridge, stiff as mannequins. They think they're just here to welcome a VIP, but I stride past them without a word because I've already sent the evidence up the chain, Video clips, complaint logs, staff IDs, everything. I didn't come for apologies. I came for accountability. And let me tell you, nothing gets a company's attention like a full-scale audit from its own CEO, especially when they don't see it coming. While the crew's busy prepping for the next leg, they get intercepted by HR, faces blank with shock as they're quietly escorted away. No shouting, no drama, just a team of compliance officers and a few security guards, ready to unpack years of little mistakes they thought would stay buried. The rest of the passengers, they don't even know what just happened. To them, it's just another flight. But to the folks in uniform, that's the day everything changed. You want to know the real kicker? I didn't need to yell, threaten, or go viral for this to work. Sometimes the most powerful move is the one no one sees coming. Within hours, Stratus Air had a choice: protect their trusted crew or come clean and rebuild. They chose the latter. Policies changed, staff retrained, old habits put under the microscope. Not because I demanded it in public, but because I proved in private that no one, no matter how well-dressed or experienced, gets to treat another person as less. And if you're wondering if I felt satisfied, I did for a moment. Watching those attendants realize the power they dismissed was sitting in seat 1A the whole time, yeah, that's a feeling you don't forget. But I know how this goes. These things don't change overnight. There's always someone watching, learning, deciding if they'll be next to speak up or next to get brushed aside. So tell me, what would you have done in my place? Would you have kept quiet and eaten the damn sandwich? Or would you have pulled the thread and let the whole thing unravel? Is it really about the meal? Or is it about dignity, respect, and the little battles we all fight every day? Drop your thoughts below. Argue it out, because I want to hear where you stand on this. What's the line between personal pride and making a point that matters? Don't just watch. Be part of the conversation.